potential Pulsex dump for people because they're going to be chasing Pulse.
That's it.
Potential EHEX dump for everybody selling, trying to get on Pulsechain. Like, what's the play or what's the product that's kind of most exciting to you?
Man, for me, it's the Pulsex dump, bro, because I don't see how Pulsex. I just know everybody is gonna want Pulsechain, and they're gonna dump whatever they can to get it. And I see Pulsex dumping, and that's what I'm just gonna stack dry powder and jump in as much as I can. From day 1 to day 90, and just try to catch the biggest dip I can. But I obviously I want to get some Pulsechain as well. And but my biggest play is going to be Pulsex.
I know it's not any indication of what may actually happen when mainnet goes live, but I'm pretty sure on the testnet, it did play out that way. I think from the sac rates, the Pulsex was going for about 3-to-1 to Pulse, so it did look like it dumped a little like in ratio.
So that's what I'm anticipating. So
I'm just hoping we don't have to wait. Like I'm kind of hoping because I'm there with you. Yeah. I just don't want Pulse to like catch the bull on the way up and never dip for like 4 years. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have to wait for that first initial dump, dude.
I don't see it fucking dipping, bro. And obviously it's gonna dip at some point, but like, I guess I'll be ready for it. But that thing is just gonna. All eyes are on Hex right now. I don't care what none of these guys say, BitBoy and fucking Crypto Ran, Crypto Banter, whatever. All eyes are on Hex and Pulsechain, and motherfuckers don't want to admit it. And I just, the FOMO is going to be unreal. And even like the bigger companies like BlackRock and shit, I'm sure they got an eye on what we got going on over here, but nobody's going to say it. Yeah, man. I heard like Richard Hart has like a secret Telegram too with a bunch of big players in the world, like people that like have tons of money, endless type of money. So I'm sure he got some big plans for us. I don't know, man. I think Richard Hart's going to be a big player in the future of like the world going forward. And people are sleeping on that. The fact that we are here now and discovered this before like the rest of the world is a blessing. So I think like we are going to be like the new 1% at some point. It's going to be so many people. All of us here now are going to be friends and stuff. And like, so I'm just very happy to be here. And I feel like this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, dude, because I see it the same way, bro.
Man, people are crazy. I would not be selling my ETH Hex right now before the copy. Is there a different coin that people are looking at holding to get copied over?
Hedron.
Yeah, Hedron's a good one. Icosa's a good one.
I think Hedron's the second best one.
You know how stable Hedron was during the bump?
We're saying that Hedron will have a lot of liquidity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which coin I can buy I can trade to, so I can use all that to get Pulse without touching my Hex or my Pulse or my Pulsex.
Man, my best advice is I don't think any other coin can outperform Hex. Therefore, why wouldn't you just buy Hex?
Exactly.
Because like if you're gonna sell the coin or go into that coin after, like might as well get into something that in case you change your mind, you're not fucked. Like the whole point of Pulsex is to not make a price. The whole point of Pulsex is to be liquid because there's already a price parity occurring in the chain due to its availability on 2 cross-chain networks with high liquidity. If you're betting on it, like you're asking me what I would bet on, right? And like the way I would statistically go at it would be like, okay, if you want to get back into something with low liquidity, you got to be one of the first ones. Now, if you're going into something with high liquidity, but it's also volatile, you might get a bad price, but you could always buy the asset. And unless it's a staircase up to heaven, it's a stairway to heaven, I don't think you're gonna be mad to not buy at the beginning. Let's just put it like that. If it's a stairway to heaven, then man, it is what it is. It's never been done before. It'll be the first crypto, first L1 to ever come out and trade up, go stairway to heaven, ACDC.
So the USDC liquidity total trading volume in the last 24 hours is $364 million. And when Pulsechain launched, the Hex volumes were like 70 million. So that's quite something if you think how many tokens are on the Ethereum network.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I think it's kind of like the gold rush. It's a layer 1 network launching pretty soon, lower gas fees. I think there's still a lot of room for devs to come in and really take some of the real estate in there in terms of like NFTs or any other that you want to create. So it's pretty cool. A lot of people still don't know about it, which is surprising, but that's why we're here, to onboard more people.
The place you'd probably want to start with the community. So it's a fork of Ethereum and it's bringing system state. So you're going to have every ETH wallet. So, you'd have that same collection there. So I think for a lot of the NFTs, there's going to be a kind of 2 big markets there. One is is taking time to index and list and move around and take advantage of all of these copied over NFTs to see which ones hit, right? When it comes to a lot of the smart contracts, that stuff's difficult to bring over if there's a lot of logic. But for some of the NFTs, at least, if the NFTs are functional, you can build up new front ends and do all that kind of stuff. So I think there'll be a first catering to just which of these contracts that are on Pulse are now beneficial and what we can build around them. But there'll be plenty of data providers depending on what all exactly you need. The NFT stuff is a little different. I'm used to dealing with more of the ERC20 stuff for like Covalent or standard APIs or Archive Node. So I don't know exactly what you need on the Alchemy side, if it's any real different there. But if it is, I'm sure we can get you handled, man. I'll be happy to DM back and forth and get you lined out on whatever you need to get over and build with us.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams building NFTs as well. So if you wanted to some introductions to those guys, just to kind of see like, hey, who's building, what's going on. They're close with some of the collectors and things like that. I'd be happy to make the introductions there. But again, anything anyone needs as far as just having a chance to get with the infrastructure, as this is a very decentralized project, it's not always as easy because there's not a big VC front person sitting there with the foundation just handing this stuff out. But the community is really easy to communicate with. It's very receptive to people who come in and actually take part in the community as a whole. So yeah, anything you guys need as far as getting up and running, anyone's trying to provide service, build cool stuff, we're happy to help, man.
Yeah, that's true, man. Like the Pulsechain community is insane. Like if you have a question, it's going to be answered, within a day. It's pretty cool. Like Richard is a busy dude these days, but I remember I asked him a question once when I was a noob, like through a DM, and he actually got back to me. Like that's like try asking like Vitalik question. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to answer you, man.
But yeah, this community here is extremely special, and that there is, I would say, I think the term you'd almost use it like commercially is like a flat management structure. So there's people that have been around and built a lot and done cool stuff and participated in a lot of ways. So they get a bit of a tip of the hat, but like no one's special. Like you build stuff, you're valuable or you're not. Like you support the community, you do cool stuff or you don't. Like it's just kind of that. It's really unique in that way, and that there's definitely kind of a love for OG and some established people. But when someone says, hey, we want to come in and build cool stuff, whether it competes with anything else or you might be stepping on someone's toes, there's not as much politics, I think. And everyone's just like, hey, come build. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we have a chain. Please come build. Please come build.
This is going to be fun.
100%, as it's a very like organic growth. So there's not these VC kind of structures that have power plays, but because of the way that Richard Hart speaks and because of what started really, I think, initially as sort of like defense against some BTC and ETH stuff that he did originally, he kind of had a following that was really interested in like the technical debate side. So it was one of those where you couldn't just like come in and just, pump tokenomics and use the buzzwords like that. That doesn't fly as well in the community as far as like just being able to get through. So it kind of came from this very like flamboyant technical argument side of RH. So that ability to communicate technical information is huge. It's something that's really appreciated. This is a community that like loves security, loves to understand what's going on, and like that is really common. There's multiple people trying to build the easiest way for people to run validator nodes at their homes. So rather than just everyone being in Rocket Pool or handing their keys over, like the community is not about that. Like we're trying to build self-contained nodes, all these types of things, so that this stuff is actually decentralized and ran through. It's special stuff, man.
I will say this: the one thing I appreciated most about everything you just said is the desire to not use buzzwords. I have been in marketing for 20 something odd years. I hate buzzwords. No, that's awesome. It's an easy way for people who don't know anything to sound really smart. And when you hit them with the real questions, they don't know. Thank you.
Buzzword, I think, I don't know what the term would be, I guess, looking for a mark per se. It doesn't go well in the community, but when people are savvy and building neat stuff, like it's insane how much the community will revel around them.
Up here, I pinned up Richard Hart's Twitter account. Dude, like it'd be a good move to follow the guy. He's changed my life and a lot of other people's lives. So, and I also pinned up pulsechain.com. A lot of people in here might not know what that is. Go and check it out.